Hi, my name is Jack, and in this video, I am going to share with you my honest take on Knowledge Broker Blueprint. And spoiler alert, it is going to be a mostly positive review because I consider myself to be a student success story of KBB. But first, let's talk about you. Are you currently the host of a podcast? Have you thought about doing something a little different with that topic and the knowledge that you have about it? You may have already thought that people might want to learn that skill or that knowledge, and perhaps you even offer a guide or other materials at your website to help people out. If you haven't considered this at all, or you want to broaden the scope of what you are already doing, you should. The knowledge industry is a multi-billion-dollar one that is poised to become even more lucrative in the 20s. Have you yourself taken a course, perhaps to learn more about your podcast topic? Or have you taken a course about something else? Would you like a piece of that educational pie? If you've never considered it, you definitely should. You might be thinking that it's too complex to do a course or a workshop, or you may even doubt that enough people would be interested. If you try to figure it out on your own, you may very well face difficulties, having to look at a variety of websites to figure out how to make the best course or the best workshop, from extracting what you know to how to market it. You might even decide that you need classes or mentors, which could end up even more confusing as you try to cobble together a coherent vision to make your dream a reality. What if there was a better way? One where you could leverage the time that high level knowledge brokers have spent learning exactly how to do it so that you can learn in a matter of days, if you're motivated, what took them years to figure out and master. Keep watching this video and I'll show you precisely where and how you can get that amazing return on time that we all so desperately need. But first, I want to tell you a little about Knowledge Broker Blueprint and how it has impacted my life and my businesses. Continue watching if you wish that you could make more from the topic that you love, if you perhaps hope to get more listeners, and even if you have ever considered that you'd like to make more of an impact on other people's lives with this topic that you just love so much. And be sure to stick around until the end because I will give you a tour of KBB's back office, which is what we call the area that we can access the training and the software and all of the goodies that come along with KBB. So, what is KBB? When I bought it, it was Knowledge Business Blueprint. And on our Facebook group that's in support of this program, we started calling ourselves knowledge brokers, and Dean started calling us knowledge brokers, and they ultimately decided to change the name of it for this launch. So when you see it, it should be the Knowledge Broker Blueprint. And if you haven't heard about it before, you might be wondering what it has to do with a podcast that is about a passion, a hobby, or an interest. In one word, everything. The course is not only about how to extract your own knowledge to create a workshop or a course. It's about how to market that knowledge so it can have impact on the people who want or need it. It's about the details of marketing as well, like how to understand your ideal client or customer who would most benefit from the knowledge that you will share. And all of this is taught by people who have mastered marketing and the knowledge industry at the seven-figure level and beyond. People like Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Jenna Kutcher, and Russell Brunson. Want to know the best ways to leverage social media and other channels to get your course or workshop out there? Want to learn the best timing and sequences of an online launch from people who have done multiple $1 million launches? All of that and more is inside of KBB. Frankly, your podcast and how you promote it will never be the same again. And how do I know this? I signed up for KBB 1.0 in April of 2019, and it impacted my life more than I could have foreseen. Let me tell you a little bit about my story and how KBB improved my businesses and my life. Before the live webcast for the first version of KBB, I'd left my job as an RN at a local hospital nearly 5 months prior because of burnout. I don't know if you know, but nursing is a highly stressful job. And if you don't have the support of management, which I didn't feel like I did, it can make a hard job almost impossible. And I was so stressed by the job that I actually was having chest pains before I would go into work. And frankly, no job is worth that. I had previously had side hustles doing freelance editing, which I have done off and on for 30 years before there was even the concept of a side hustle. And I've also done video and content marketing locally for friends and for friends of friends. And I wanted to expand these to take the place of my RN income. But they didn't grow quite as quickly as I'd hoped, and frankly, as quickly as I needed. And while I had some solid marketing chops from running a retail store, which I did for 10 years, marketing my services was new to me. I Googled better ways to market online, read scats of websites, even took a few online courses so I could add new and in-demand skills to my resume. But it still didn't seem to make enough of a difference to take my businesses to the next level. I knew I needed to do something more, something different. So when I got this email from a marketer who'd been mentoring me about the live broadcast that Tony Robbins was doing with Dean Graziosi, I just wanted to see if I could glean some tips. And funnily enough, I didn't even know who Dean was at that point. When I watched the live broadcast, though, I was literally blown away. I didn't really come away with the marketing tips that I'd hoped for, though. Instead, however, I came away with a whole new vision of what my businesses could be and what they could mean to my clients. And not just the current clients buying my editing or content and video marketing services, but clients who might want to learn more about writing and self-publishing or video and content marketing for local businesses. The live webcast got me thinking beyond the local clients that I served, to thinking about all of the people around the world who might benefit from my little tiny slices of expertise about writing and self-publishing and local video and content marketing. And if just the live broadcast got me thinking about ways that I could expand my local business globally, I imagined that the course would be more of the same. And hopefully with lots of marketing tactics and practical ways to implement it all. I'll admit that I am an emotional buyer when an idea or 10 or 20 fire me up, as happened that night. So I purchased the program right away and joined the KBB Face group immediately. So you might be wondering how that all worked out. The training itself was more than I could have hoped for. It helped me to better understand my knowledge and skills superpowers and the ideal client who would benefit the most from learning about each of them. It taught me about micro and macro marketing, everything from ideal clients to using social media and other channels for my marketing to setting up a launch. Ultimately, it's about how to find and properly serve your ideal customer and all that goes along with that to make it happen. The tools that Dean teaches us to use in workshops and courses to help participants can also be used for us and our businesses as well. They help me get clear on my deepest whys for my business and help me attain clarity about my vision for them. And as a direct result of KBB, I've launched my own virtual workshops. And in fact, I am right in the middle of turning one of them into an expertise book. And I really hope that helps make an impact on an even broader audience than I've worked with up until now. But the impact is even greater than all this. Because of what I learned about marketing, my editing and local marketing businesses have attracted more clients. And in both businesses, I help people bring their visions forward. And yes, I do use some of the KBB tools to do that. Clients are amazed because they've never really had such clarity about where they want to go with their writing or their local marketing. I've gone from just being a content creator for local businesses and an editor to someone who guides people in their businesses so that they can realize what they want. I can't tell you what it feels like to make such an impact on people, to see that aha moment as I help them take their writing or their business to the next level, all as a direct result of what I learned in KBB. And best of all, I don't have to worry now about going back to a job that burnt me out unless I choose to. I do truly like helping people as I did when I was a nurse. And I am still helping people, just in a completely different way. And even in this last month, KBB has inspired me to take a closer look at my nursing knowledge and the areas of nursing that I'm passionate about, to see how I could share that with the greater world as an RN health coach for people with diabetes. There truly is no limit about how you can use KBB in your own life, for your podcast, for any other entrepreneurial ideas you might have, and for the lives that you could potentially impact if you ultimately decide that you do want to share your knowledge, your passion, your hobby with those beyond who are already listeners of your podcast. KBB can give you the mindset, the tactics, and the implementation strategies to take you from where you are now to where you want to be, personally or professionally. I can't tell you how many times I had to stop the videos just so I could quickly scribble notes of all of the insights that I just knew would change the face of my businesses. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Is any of this part of your story? Do you wish your passion for your podcast topic could benefit you more financially? Are you unsure of how to move it forward? Is your hobby or passion or knowledge something that could benefit others if you taught them? Maybe KBB is the answer that you've been looking for to take your podcast to the next level. If this interests you at all, I urge you to check out the live webcast on February 27th, and I will have a link in the description where you can find out more. Now, of course, you might be watching this after February 27th, and I will have a link in the description that will take you to more information from me, directly from Dean and Tony. I'll make sure that you're set up in the description to get the most current information about KBB. But now, how about that tour that I promised you? So if you do ultimately decide to join KBB, you will be sent a link to this page, which is where we actually log in to access all of the training and get access to the software that comes along with it and all the other goodies. So I am just going to take you there. And once you log in, you get taken to this splash page. And if you ever bought anything else from Dean, some of them are available from this screen as well. But what we're interested in is what is on the left-hand side. It currently says Knowledge Business Blueprint, but by the time you see it, it should say Knowledge Broker Blueprint. And this takes you right into the course home. And let's see. So on the course home, you can take the tour, and Tony and Dean have a welcome introductory video for you here. And then you can choose where you want to go from there. So you can watch that tour video that was up above. You can download the course workbook, which I highly recommend. This course is divided into modules, which are divided into lessons, which are divided into sessions. And a lot of the sessions actually have worksheets associated with them. So you can either download them all as you go through each session, or you can just download the entire course workbook right here. And there's also our favorite our favorite. It is our favorite. Our private Facebook group. And I've got to say, I've been a part of internet mailing lists for a long time, way before Facebook groups or even before Facebook. And I've even run groups on through email and via forums as we used to do back before the turn of the millennium and before social media. And this is one of the best ones that I have ever been a part of. The people are just so supportive and helpful. If you have a question about anything to do with the actual course, you jump on, ask your question, and lots of people will answer you, including people from Dean's team. If you are kind of even just kind of struggling mentally or emotionally with all of this, put forth what your struggle is, and people will tell you how to get over it or how to move, rather how to move beyond. But they're just so supportive and helpful. You'll be glad that you shared your doubts, because other people are there to help take them away. And when you actually have those wins, if you create that workshop, if you create that course, and you get your first people signing up, share those wins, and you will get people congratulating you and just giving you just so much, love and support, that it's just fun. It's good people. And what's nice is this group is full of people who are at different levels. So we have people who are just beginning and just trying to figure out what they're trying to do, what they're interested in, what their powers, what their superpowers are. And we also have people who already have successful businesses, knowledge businesses, and who are just wanting to learn from Dean and Tony to help them scale up and take it to the next level. And what's fantastic is that these people at the far end of the spectrum help out those behind them. So these people sometimes will not only answer people's posts and questions, but they'll make these incredibly informative posts themselves. They're so generous with their knowledge. And the idea is that they're sharing this so that they can help bring you up, to help bring me up. And it's fantastic. Every week there are insights that I get from the members, let alone from Dean and Tony. It honestly, the Facebook group just makes is just about worth the price of admission, because it is such a powerful and dynamic and supportive group of people. And from here also you can log into the MindMint software. I was going to take you of a tour of that, but I've heard that 2.0 is radically different than what we have. So if I took the time in a couple minutes to show you what it looks like, probably what you're going to see is just going to be so different that it makes no sense for me to show it to you. But let me show you the core of KBB. So these are the actual modules of the training. And so as you see, we have extract it, fill it, run it, and knowledge broker. And I'm going to just go through this, kind of looking at what's in each module, thinking about it in terms of what you as a podcaster could benefit from. So in the extract it section, it's exactly what it sounds like. They're trying to extract your superpower and help you figure out your ideal customer for your workshop or mastermind. And two, they also give you the tools that you can actually use to help the people in your workshop or your course. And it's a fantastic tool set. And I definitely recommend doing as many of them for yourself first, because you will gain such clarity. You'll get a better sense of a plan. You'll help figure out how to be more productive without just cramming in more. This section is powerful. It really is. And even if you don't, and actually with any of these modules, even if you don't think you want to watch something because you don't think it will apply, watch every video, because so many little wisdom nuggets are scattered throughout the entire course. And even if you don't think a topic interests you, there might just be that little kernel of information that sparks something for you. And then we have Fill It, which is about the marketing aspect of all of this. So this takes you from the micro look at it, like how to build a good email campaign, how to make a sales page, by helping you understand the concepts of how to hook an audience, how to keep them involved by telling a story and relating it to them, and then closing strong. And then there's the bigger aspects of marketing, like how do you actually market your course through social media or other channels. So this section, it is truly a masterclass in marketing. You learn from the best of the best and their team who knows how to do all this. I suggest watching it more than once, at least twice, separated out by time, because again, just so much is offered. You cannot possibly incorporate it all into your way of thinking with just watching it once. And then the run it module has to do with if you actually want to run a live or virtual event. So you want to actually run, a workshop, a 3-day, 5-day, whatever. If you want to actually run a workshop live or online, this is where you're going to learn about it. Now, since Dean and Tony are the masters of the live event, from small masterminds that they do to the bigger programs that they run from stages, this actually focuses strongly on live events rather than virtual. And honestly, that is the only weakness that I see in KBB. I think there should have been more time spent on the virtual aspect. Well, for many reasons. Doing live events is complicated. It's costly. It not so easy to jump into if it's your first thing that you're trying to do. Trying something virtually is so much easier. There's very low overhead. It's certainly not as complicated, and you can set it up just so easily. Like I said before, I've run several virtual workshops now, and actually it's a lot of fun. I love it. You get to interact with people who are interested in your topic, and you get to help them out. It's pretty cool. And so if you actually do decide to purchase KBB through my link, I will definitely always be a resource for you for running virtual workshops. Like I said, I've done several. And I even have the mentor who taught me how to do it. And if you need further guidance than I can give you, I can certainly set you up with that person so you can learn more. And the final module is Knowledge Broker. Now, this one actually might work for you as a person who hosts a podcast. If your podcast has guests, listen to this one. Okay, so Knowledge Broker, the concept is that you take all the information from the previous 3 modules, and instead of applying it to your own personal knowledge and creating a workshop or a course based on that, instead you help somebody else extract that information and create a course. And then you can split the profits. So if you have podcast guests who you think actually have something worthwhile to share in a course or a workshop, work with them, be a team with them, and put that out. I actually think it's a fantastic idea for podcasters. And it's nice, I think, too, that KBB offers us so many different ways that we can implement and use all the different information that is shared here. All right, so I'm going to actually take you inside of the first module, extract it. My computer is just a little slow. There we go. And as you can see, there's some gamification going on here. As you watch each module, as you watch each session, this bar builds. And you also earn credits where you, quote, purchase further motivational trainings and ideas. And you also have levels where you go from, I can't remember what the beginning one was. It's like novice or beginner. And you can move up the chain until you finish. And then you are at a level of force for good. And that's what I am because I have finished the course. And you also get badges as you work through some different things as you hit milestones. So when you take your first quiz or you pass a module, you get a badge as well. So just little fun gamification going on. So here's where the modules are, and below that is where you access your bonuses. And I swear, when I joined KBB last year, I swear there's only like 3 or 4 things here, but now there's just a lot, and they keep adding bonuses, which is so cool. So the current bonuses, there's quite a bit from Tony. Ultimate Edge audio course and his priming exercise, and the platinum bonus, which has videos that will help inspire and motivate you. And there's also a couple trainings from Russell Brunson, including how to become the reporter of knowledge, not a broker or a broker for your own knowledge. And there's also training from Jenna Kutcher about how to implement this all quickly. I'm going to take you into a module right now just to show you around. And each module is split into lessons, and this one has 5 specific lessons, and then each lesson is split into sessions. And so here we have module 1, lesson 2, and this has 3 sessions. So discovering your superpower, and for you, since you already have a topic that is your interest and passion for your podcast, I would still recommend that you watch this, because you actually probably have so many ideas of workshops or courses that you could offer on your topic. So this will help you not only figure that out, but how to like drill it down and how to make it into something, that somebody would be interested in. It'll help you narrow your focus, because I think, again, with a podcast, you have so many options. And so now I'm going to just show you around in identifying your ideal client, because for any course or workshop that you might have, you definitely want to figure that out first. Of course, you could have a pretty good sense of that if you know who your listeners are. So each session has a video, and that is followed by a session overview, just telling you a little bit about what that's about. You can even take notes right online, although I just recommend picking up a cheap pack of lined paper and a binder, and you will be wanting to take copious notes throughout this whole thing. And it's nice to have something physical to just flip through. At the bottom of each session is this tabbed section with action steps that relate directly to the video, or at least the topic that it's about. And if there's any tools associated with this session, this is where you can download them individually. Although if you have the workbook, you most likely don't need them. And there's also an audio file for each session, which I think is cool. So if you like to listen to something while you work out or while you're driving, listen to these to reinforce what you have learned. And finally, there is a session transcript for each session. And what I've done is I actually downloaded all these and combined them into one Word file, because again, there is so much information, and all of a sudden you're thinking, I need to know something about this topic. And to try to remember, now let's see, now what module was that in, what lesson, what session, what minute. It's just a lot easier to just search through a Word document. All right, I think that wraps up what I wanted to share and show you about KBB. And I hope this interests you. I hope it interests you to at least check out the live cast if it hasn't happened yet, or just find out more information. I honestly can say that when I look back on this last 9 or 10 months, that April 30th of 2019 was a watershed day for me, because it's changed my life. It changed my businesses and my perception of what I could do for my clients. And the impact that I have had is beyond what I could have thought, and I love it. It's just it's a fantastic feeling deep in your heart. And so I can sincerely hope that if you ultimately decide to buy KBB, that when you look back from 2021, you'll say that yes, that was a watershed day for me when I purchased that course. I have made a difference. I have made an impact. Whether or not you ultimately decide to purchase KBB, I wish you the ultimate success with your podcast. I know these kind of things aren't easy to do, so props to you for just doing it. And I can say I sincerely hope too that I see you as a part of the KBB family in our Facebook group.